What's up, everybody? It's been a while since I posted a video. This is probably my 40th attempt at making a video. I keep nothing scripted. Usually I script my things, but I was making some videos. I didn't feel like they're really hitting what I want to hit. My channel's mostly um, showcases my experience with a panic disorder and how I kind of came back from agoraphobia and you know how I didn't always suffer from that. Um, how when I first had my panic attack while driving, um, it was later in life. It wasn't always there. I feel like those are important things to say as well. But I made a lot of progress, and I came out of agoraphobia. It took a lot of self exposure therapy, and I had a panic attack probably about 2 months ago on the interstate. Oh, and it took me so long to even work up to the interstate. And since then, it's just kind of flooded back into my life, and I don't want it to conquer my life anymore. And I want to document this time around again because I feel like there's no real concrete solution out there. Um, Besides, I don't know, pure grit, but you'll burn yourself out doing that every single day. But there's no like there's in the medical community. There's I feel like there's not a real good structure for addressing individuals that are dealing with agoraphobia or driving anxiety. And part of my channel is to kind of spread awareness and show people that are dealing with this that you're not alone, and you can keep pushing. And so it's Friday, and it's not the first Friday I've stayed in since my panic attack. That's kind of brought things back to where they were a little bit. And, um, you know, I'm getting older, and I don't want to deal with this for the next 9 more years. And I had made great strides um, in my progress. Um, I'm also I wanted to bring up I'm also part of a few social media groups, and this is where I feel like the medical community, therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, um, I feel like they don't have. I feel like they could have a better way to address this for people that are suffering from this. These groups that I'm part of, they talk about their struggles, and when I read it, I can read the pain in their voice. I've read about a parent wanting to cry because she's having such a hard time um, trying to get her kids to a game, and she felt like such a bad mom, and that's heartbreaking. And I read other things about, milestones that people make, which I love. But then you see someone on the comments and, they're supportive, but then they also bring up, they're like, I haven't left the house in 20 years. And to me, if people are if that's a common theme around, agoraphobia and the panic being that extreme, then I think there's some holes in support, professional support. So what I did last time when I was making videos is I did, outside of therapy, I did a lot of research, and I did a lot of reading and a lot of, forced, sometimes forced, very uncomfortable exposure therapy. And I think I'm gonna do that again. And I want to document what works. My main barrier for me, it's been kind of weird because, or it might be a little the same. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It was getting a little better with the progress that I had made, but right now, as of late, I've been dealing with a lot of not feeling like you're totally there, which can be a sign of extreme anxiety, and things of that nature. And I don't want to deal with those. I don't want to deal with those. No one wants to deal with that. It's uncomfortable. So I'm going to take another serious look at that, and I'm going to get out there and make some strides, and hopefully become an expert, at least on myself and how I progress. The first time I did it, it was very uncomfortable. But that's another point, is I say the first time, and it's made its loop again. So I have to fight again to regain independence or feel safe. But it's like my 30th time trying to make this video. It's gonna be the last time. But main points closing up is I feel there's not a lot of people out there that understand people that have agoraphobia or driving anxiety, which is nuanced because I didn't understand it until I got it. I would love that there would be more awareness or push from the medical community that this is a valid problem. It's certainly documented from people that experience it personally. I've spoken with a lot of people that's experienced it. Being dismissed, having people be like, oh, I don't get it, just, come over. And it's a lot for, individuals that are completely, limited by this to just hear that. And, I want to say I hear you. And, don't give up. And I'm going to dig my feet in. I'm going to try and make some videos. I probably won't make videos when I'm driving unless I have a dash cam, but you know, I'm dealing with this problem and it sucks. And a lot of other people are dealing with this problem. But if I'm dealing with this problem, I want to make it a meaningful endeavor. You know, people that have this, they're suffering. And a lot of people are in turmoil. And it's, from my experience, it feels like you're in a little prison, you know? But the prison's up here. And sometimes that's the hardest prison to break. And it takes a lot of strength. And when I see these people on these social media pages that I'm part of, with their dash cams, making strides to drive, I'm just completely ecstatic. And I feel I'm so proud of these people I don't even know, because I know how hard it is. And I make it a point to reach out and say, hey, you know, hang in there. And it takes a lot of strength, because these people feel alone, or people, I've been called lazy. And I've read other posts that, you know, those people have been called lazy too. They just don't want to drive, and that's complete asinine. It's ridiculous. So this is my plans for the future. Is I'm going to seriously dig my feet in, and I'm gonna push some of these dreadful panic boundaries, whether I like it or not, because during exposure therapy, you don't want to do that. That's why it's called exposure therapy. And you do experience the dreadfulness, the panic, the I don't feel real, I feel like I'm gonna die kind of symptoms in your head. You feel adrenaline pumping. It's horrible. And I'm not trying to get sympathy or anything, because these are symptoms that other people feel as well. I'm just kind of trying to set the stage. If anything, I want to be an advocate. And you know, I've been dealing with this for 9 years, you know, and I don't want to deal with it for nothing. I wanna be a rock for some of these people to lean on, and I know some of these other people, they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing as I am. You know, I'm not special or anything for wanting to try to do this. There's many other brave people out there, but I also want to be a part of it too. So if you're dealing with extreme panic disorder that have you stuck in the house, or if you're agoraphobic and you have a hard time even going down the street, or if you have driving anxiety and you lost the ability to drive again because you're just experience dreadfulness and while you're driving, and because when you're driving and having a panic attack or experiencing extreme distress or heightened anxiety, you're focused on two things. You're focused on the driving, and you're also focused on dealing and working through those symptoms, which is completely fatiguing. So, these people that are actively trying to work through it, props to them, and I admire them, and I want to be one of those, part of the foundation that everyone can lean on. If that's one of the last things I do is to help people overcome this, I'd be happy with that. So that's pretty much it. We got pretty deep, but when you live with this for a long time, it's pretty deep. You can ask anyone who's dealing with this, and it's pretty rough. But I'm gonna get off here. Be expecting to hear from me. I'm gonna dig my feet in, and I want to come up with a concrete way of what works, what doesn't work. I know everybody's different, and not everything works for everybody. But I want to experiment with my own recovery going forward, and maybe some people can use some of the things that work for me and maybe apply it to themselves, see if it works for them, and maybe find some other routes too that I don't know about besides exposure therapy, or riding with the panic. Some of the books I've read is letting the panic in so you can experience it, but it's okay. But be on the lookout. I'll probably be posting again. So hang in there, everybody. I doubt most of you will hang till the end, and that's okay. We're just getting started. So this is I think my channel's name is Life and Anxiety, or Dealing with Life Anxiety, but one of those. So this is Dealing with Life Anxiety, signing out. Everybody be safe. Peace.